Hi there, welcome to Life's Back End. So you're trying to pay off your debt. Generally, everyone has some sort of debt. In the US alone, 77% of people have debt and are also struggling to pay it off. The average debt in the US is around $58,000. Having debt is not an issue. The problem starts to appear when that debt is out of your control. When you're not paying your monthly payments and interest starts to build up, that's when the issue kicks in. I'm going to show you a strategy where you can start paying your debt off faster. And also at the end of the video, I'm going to show you some tips on how to control your debt after you pay it off, so that you don't fall into the same problem again. The strategy that you're going to learn about today is not going to be easy. It's going to require you to develop a mindset. If you don't pay off your debt, it's going to be like a heavy weight on your back. It's going to cause you a lot of stress. You're not going to be able to be productive, and it's going to stand in the way of you achieving success in many ways. Not like if you pay off your debt, you'll be able to be stress-free. You can do a lot more things that you might not have been able to do when you had all that debt on your back. Imagine every time you get paid, whatever's left over you can use for the things that you're trying to achieve in your life. And you might be able to go on more vacations and have fun, because now you have that peaceful mind because you've already paid off all that debt. So to get started, basically you want to create a budget. And you can watch my video on how to create a budget. But you want to separate the essential expenses, your essential monthly expenses, from the expenses that you can eliminate or sacrifice so that you can start paying off your debt. The strategy itself is fairly simple. What you want to do is take the amount of debt you have and divide it by how many years you want to pay it off in. So based on if you get paid every week or every 2 weeks, you would want to divide it into how many weeks you would have in a year. So for example, if you get paid every week and you want to pay off your debt in 4 years, you would take the amount of debt you have and divide it by 192. And you would get the amount you would have to pay each week for you to pay your debt off in 4 years. And basically every time you make a payment, each week you make a payment, you would want to keep your receipt in a safe place. So you can go on Amazon and buy like a file where you can save your receipts and download the receipt, so you can have a record of your payments on your debt. And it's very exciting every week when you pay off a chunk of that debt, knowing that in 4 years you're not going to have any more. Now you're on your way towards paying off your debt. And once you get there, here are some tips so that you can control your debt and not fall into this situation again. So there's a standard where they have a debt to income ratio, and it's, I think, anywhere less than 35% is considered a good debt to income ratio, which basically means if you make around $10,000 a month and your debt or expenses is around $3,500, then that is in the good area. So basically you have enough money to pay it off. And this is okay for people who have a lot of income, like $10,000 a month. But when it comes to like $3,000, $4,000, it's hard to maintain that good ratio. So what I say and what I do is that you should create a budget so you can have an understanding of your abilities, how much you can spend, how much you can afford. Creating a budget is very important so that you don't fall into this trap of having uncontrolled debt. So you can go and watch my video on how to create a budget. And once you have that understanding of how much you can afford, then based on that, you'll be able to know how much debt you should take out. So if you're trying to go on a vacation or if you're trying to pay for something, you would know if you're going to be able to afford that amount of debt before you take it out. So estimating and creating a budget is a good tool for you to be able to control your debt. Another way to control your debt and prevent falling into the situation of uncontrolled debt is to never take out a loan that is more than what you have in your bank account. So if anything happens, you'll be able to pay off that debt right away. Basically, those were the two tools that will help you control your debt so it doesn't go out of your hands. The first one was a little riskier because you create a budget and you have an estimate on how much you can afford. So basically, when you take out a loan, you'll know that, okay, I know how much I'll be making every week, every month, and I know that I'll be able to pay it off in a certain amount of time. And the second tool is much more safer, where you don't take out a huge amount of money or spend a huge amount of money on your credit card unless you have that amount in your bank account. So I hope you can develop this mindset and you're on your way to achieve your goal of paying off your debt. Also, visit me on my blog, lifesbackend.com, where I share more information on personal finance. So long.